Hello. Why have I got... I thought it was lipstick, but it's not. It's just a mark. Probably because I've bitten my lip again. As per usual. Never mind. Let's see who's new. Who's first in today? I'm just waving my fingers about because I've just put some nail polish on. It's not quite dry yet. So I'm just flapping about for a minute or two until it dries. It's supposed to be quick dry, but we shall see. We shall see. Well, I've got one thumbs up so far, thank you, but nobody said hello yet. But hey ho, it's off to work we go. It's not really. Hi, Yarnivorous. Hello there. You are my numero uno today, and I've just booked a bit nail polish because it wasn't quite dry. These things just tend to dry us out. Never mind. Hi, Esther. It's pouring down. Thank you for asking, Esther, but it's pouring down. Your computer's been a dingus and it's loading everything slow. Oh, well, there you go then. My mouse is misbehaving. I'm going to have to buy another one. I don't want to because they're quite expensive. I have those roller ones. Hello, Sophie. And Stormy. Is that your doggy? Is Stormy the doggy? You have to tell me because I'm nosy and I want to know these things. Yeah, you Stormy. Yeah. You crochet a purple scarf using half double crochets. It's a half treble to us. Yeah. Oh dear. I'm cold at the moment. Hi, Linda. Got my shawl. I went and found my shawl because I was a bit chilly. I'm not putting the heating on. I'm determined I'm not putting the heating on till October. I know it's nearly October, but I'm determined that heating is not going on till October. Yeah, I do use that stitch quite a lot. Yeah. It's raining there in Gateshead as well, is it? Come on, tell me, who is Stormy? Is that your doggy? I'm being nosy and I want to know. And we all want to know, don't we? We all want to know who Stormy is. Could be a mouse, could be a hamster, could be anything really, couldn't it? Ooh, my nail polish is still not dry, still bobby. I've been missing my little dogs today. I can't have one, but I want one, if you know what I mean. Oh, it's your plushy cat, right? I thought that you'd got a dog. Well, I've seen a little dog, but is that your mum's dog? I've seen a dog in your pictures. Is that your mum's? Your mum's doggy? I'm dead nosy. Don't get away with nothing here. I'm dead nosy. I always want to know the ins and the outs of everything. You know all about me. I know nothing about you, so I want to know because I'm nosy. I am a curtain twitcher, except I don't have nets. I don't have net curtains and I don't have blinds, so I'm not even a curtain twitcher. I'm just a up and down the street. I'm the nosy neighbour that you don't want to live next door to. That's me. You know, every time there's something going on, I'm giving it all this. Oh dear. So what are you all up to today? What are you all up to? Want to know. It's your sister's doggy. Oh well, so long as there's a dog in the family. My two doggies, well, not my two dogs, they're not mine, are they? Our two dogs are living in Spain now, yeah. You've been exhausted and stressed out? Well, I've been a bit stressed out as well, yeah. Hi, Val. Val's still not well. She's still got a fractured shoulder. I did phone her up Well, she phoned me up, sorry, but I was in the middle of eating my tea, so we had a bit of a short conversation. Sorry about that, Val. Oh, dear. Yes, I gather it still hurts, Val. Yeah, I gathered that. Yeah. As I say, I was trying to eat with one hand while I was talking to Val. It's a bit awkward when you're holding the phone with one hand and trying to juggle a fork with the other. Hi, Chris. So it wasn't a very good, especially when it was rice as well, trying to scoop rice up on your fork. When you're talking on the phone, it was a bit of a difficult job, yeah. Yeah, I don't expect Val to be typing much because she's her right shoulder and she's right-handed. So, she's not going to be typing much. So she's here, lurking. Oh, dear. That reminds me of, who was it used to be called Lurkio? Something on the telly, wasn't it? Lurkio. Was a nickname, wasn't it? Can't think what it was with. Somebody's going to prompt me, aren't they? I'm sure it was a TV series. Frankie Howard, you're right there. Lurkio, yeah. Oh, I loved that series. It was so funny, wasn't it? I wish they'd repeat it. They probably can't because he's probably not politically correct anymore, is he now? And now the prologue. I loved that programme. Absolutely loved it. I never missed it at all, yeah. The son of the royal family as well. He was Lurkio, wasn't he? Yeah. The one who's in, he was in Death in the Caribbean. Death in Paradise, he was in, wasn't he? Yeah. But Lurkio was in Up Pompeii, yeah. Like, subscribe, yay! You want some chocolate, do you, Sophie? So I've got some, actually. What have I got in the fridge? I can't remember what I bought, and I've only just been to the supermarket. Hey, got some great news. I struggle if I want to post anything by having to trundle miles to the post office, blah, yeah. We have now got one of those box things outside my shop, just a block away. One of those stop and go and post and go thingy-majiggles. All I have to do now is find out how to use it. It's got Royal Mail. It's got every, I think, and something else. Little compartments for everything. Great. So, my friend who lives up the street, she goes to knit club with me. She's already used it, so I'm just hoping you don't have to have one of these swanky phones, where you've got to. I'll be all right if you can print a label out. I'll be all right with that, yeah. But if you have to have a swanky phone, that leaves me out because I don't have one. And I am not about to buy a swanky phone, especially when I've got my tea. We're not going to that, yeah. Oh. You get Royal Mail to collect it. Yeah, but this will be handy. Because I am hoping, as you know, procrastinating Annie here, to put photographs of my baby cardigans. I've got about 20 of them in the garage on eBay. So if somebody buys them, and if I have to post them, then I've got the little. I feel a bit sorry for the flat that's next to the shop because the box thing's straight across the front door and half of the window. Bit awkward, really, isn't it? Yeah. I did actually dry some laundry today before it rained. It's good here for drying laundry, even if it isn't particularly sunny. It just seems to get that little bit of wind, not the horrible wind that I used to get when sounds like I've got troubles, doesn't it? Not the awful wind that used to come across from the sea when I lived in Fleetwood. This wind is a nice wind and it dries everything. Yeah. So I managed to dry the bit of washing I did, yeah. You know, my nightie, the towels, different things like that, yeah. Underwear, you know. Unmentionables, as my friend used to call them. I'm going to wash my unmentionables, she used to say. I said, do you mean your drawers? She used to say, no, washing my unmentionables. Yeah. I know I look a bit strange wearing these, but this cardigan stops 3/4. And I think I've mentioned it to you before. If this bit of my arm is cold, I am freezing. So I had to do this. I ran out of yarn. I didn't have enough to get full length sleeves. So they stop there. And I'm freezing. Can't be doing with it, yeah. Oh, I haven't got a dryer anymore now. No. No, I haven't got. I've got one of those dryer doodahs, airers, do they call them in the conservatory? And that will have to do. You know, when you're on a pension, watching pennies, tumble dryers are not a necessity. Sorry, but I lived a lot of my life without one. Yeah. Hey, 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 Nathan. I feel sorry for these people who live in these posh type places where you're not allowed to put washing out and you're not allowed to put washing on your balcony. But I tell you, 600 is not to be sniffed at. It can go towards a holiday, couldn't it, or something like that. I was thinking of buying one of those, a heated area, but at the moment I don't actually sort of need one. But I've not done a winter here yet. I know I moved in at the end of January, but I haven't overwintered ever here. So, you know, that might be something. I'm really loving my heated throw. I put it on over the top of me, switch it on for about a half hour, and it stays warm for ages when I switch it off. It's great, yeah. I know some places are really funny, aren't they? They don't want people hanging their underwear outside. They used to be like that sometimes in these posh blocks of flats. You know, you couldn't dry your washing on the balcony, you know, or the balcony, as some people call it, balcony. You know, and I think, honestly, they're always going on, aren't they, about the climate change and all this and watching what you spend and these people who parrot on and on and on about all these planes that are polluting the air and all this that's doing that, and yet they say you can't line dry your clothes, which, hey, it's nature, it's free, it's not harming anybody. Your wet washing isn't polluting the atmosphere, is it? You know what I mean? So you would think that they would sort of promote that line drying, wouldn't you, rather than using electricity, using everything to do a tumble dryer, you know. I'm very mindful of what the electric I use. You know, I switch lights off as I leave a room. I don't have lights burning when I'm nowhere around. In fact, I've just bought 2 little plug-in, you know, like a nightlight thing, just to light my hallway up so that I don't stumble, fall on my way to the bathroom, something like that. I'm just very mindful. It's not just only the money, it's just I like to think I'm doing my bit, you know, for climate control or whatever it is they keep saying. You know, you like to listen to the birds. I miss my squirrels. All I've got here is seagulls. First thing in the morning. Yeah. I miss my little birds that used to live in my hedges when I lived in Prestwich. And my squirrels that used to dig holes in my lawn and bury all the nuts that I used to give them. They used to bang on the patio door for me to give them the nuts. And then the little beggars used to go and dig a hole in my lawn and bury them. And I'm like, oh, thank you for that. Come back and dig them up again, will you please? You know. So every time my gardener came to mow the lawn, they were picking out all these Because I used to buy those like monkey nut things. You know, the ones in a shell, yeah. Yeah, I think squirrels is a very one-sided, yeah. They used to drive Gigi potty because they used to tap on the window. Buster couldn't have cared less, but Gigi used to go insane when they used to bang on the window. Oh, seagulls are, they're so loud, so noisy. Yeah. You think that's how you got the peach tree? I wish I had a garden. I'm determined to try to save and get some raised beds for next year so that I can actually do some gardening without having to stoop down here. Oh, hello. Here's the phone. I did a video the other day. If you've not watched it, why not? And all through it, the phone was diddly-doo, diddly-doo, diddly-doo. It never blooming well goes until I'm either at knit club or I'm on here or I'm doing a video. What is it? Nothing. How to crochet a cozy sweater by Syringe Crochet. I don't even follow Syringe Crochet. Why have I got that? Oh, I need a new case. Look at that. It's knackered. I've got a habit when my hands are full of carrying it round with my teeth. So it's all nibbled at the top. I need a new one, yeah. Oh, I've got my shawl on. I love this shawl. I sold the other one. The other one was like shades of gold and oranges, and I sold that one. But this one, oh, no way I'm selling this. I can't get the yarns anyway now. I used to get all this fancy stuff from Ice Yarns, you know, this eyelash stuff and everything. I used to love making these. But I kept this one. I thought, there's no way I'm selling this one. No way. You've got a sunflower. Yeah. Oh, I love this one, yeah. So it's all... Yeah, I made one in all shades of like oranges and golds and that. And it sold right away. And it's lovely and warm. I'm so cold. I think I told you. This cardigan might look okay. Why I'm wearing this and black is that the bottom of me dress. Oh, if I can show you. The bottom of my dress. It's black at the top and it's pinks. Oh, it looks red, doesn't it, there? It's actually pinks and reds at the bottom. Yeah, purple is the colour. I know a woman once said to me, she said, "You from royalty?" And I thought, what? She said, "Not royalty in this country." She said, "Royalty in France." She said, "There's a big purple aura all around you." I thought, oh, weird woman. Well, she's saying that to me. I'm like, go away, go away, go away. But I always thought we had French in our DNA, but apparently when I had my DNA done, nothing, no French at all. I wanted to be a mademoiselle or a madame. Yeah, I'm not very good at making tassels, am I? Looks a bit Moffetting. Oh dear. The Isle of Skye tartan's purple. Our clan is the Borthwick clan. That's my dad's clan. And it's miserable. It's dark green and brown and grey. It's the most miserable tartan you've ever seen. So I don't want that. I don't want a Borthwick tartan anything. No, thank you. I know his son was married in a kilt, but he just chose one without me knowing he was going to be married in a kilt. And I said, you could have had a Borthwick one. But when we looked at it, it wasn't very thrilling colours. So we'd rather have the red one he got. Not that it'll fit him anymore now. Yeah, some of them are very dull and very... you can see why, because they probably dye it with natural dyes, don't they? Because that was the tradition, wasn't it, in Scotland? you know, before the advent of colourful dyes, was everything was dyed with plants. So they would be quite mossy coloured, wouldn't they, in greens and browns and sort of mustardy yellowy colours, you know, depending on the plants that grew around you. The purple, I think, comes from the heather, doesn't it? Yeah. But, I was just laughing at Amora. She's gone to Yarndale. No doubt she'll put a video up later. But she did a little short, and she told somebody this idea, and they've took it up. It's a little square box with a glass, and all inside is tiny little balls of wool. And it said, in case of emergency, break the glass. Yeah. Yeah. No, well, you wouldn't. You want to, especially if you were a gamekeeper or something like that in the Highlands, you'd want to blend in with the heather, wouldn't you? And that, yeah. You wouldn't want to be wearing a cape or whatever in a very bright colour. God, I'm freezing. And I'm not putting the heating on. I am not putting this heating on. I'm missing my blanket. I can't bring it in here. I've got nowhere to plug it in. I've got my yellow blanket here. Got me. Yes, I did make a blanket. I hated every moment of it, but I made a blanket. Have you seen the latest one that's, is it Wool Warehouse they're doing? Somebody's designed this one with old gingerbread men on it and everything. And one of them's done in all natural wool and everything. I can imagine that was one heck of a price. And it's done in the round, and then you steek it. And I'm thinking, oh, God, no. If I was going to knit a blanket, there's no way I'd be steeking it. Or the drab tartan's well, I was with the drab tartan. If you look up Borthwick, it's very drab, very dreary. It's not at all chirpy. It was Black Sheep that did it, that's right. You're right there, Linda, Black Sheep. Yeah, and they've got these kits. Oh. Well, I dread to think how much that kit was that's in Angora and wool and everything. But I mean, if you made that blanket, it's really Christmassy, isn't it? Because it's got gingerbread men and everything on it. You couldn't have it out all year, could you? If I was going to spend that money, which I wouldn't, but if I was going to spend that money on a blanket kit, I'd want one that would do all year, you know. I don't want one just for Christmas. You know, Christmas is about a week and then it's gone, isn't it, really? Except these people who start Christmas in October, you know. Somebody was telling me about somebody who has a Christmas tree up, and they do it for Halloween, and then they leave it up, and then they put Christmas things on it, yeah. Oh, the sweater classes, yeah. Oh, dear me. If you saw the video I put up with Amora, she was in Skye, there was a hand-knitted sweater there. It was lovely. It was hand-spun, hand-dyed and hand-knitted, and it was £470. Ooh. Grey Hamilton, yeah. Hello, Lizzie. Hi. Oh, dear. Oh, I hope I don't go to sleep. I've had to take my painkillers. You see me nodding because somebody give me a ring. Oh, dear. Why the name change, Lizzie? Why? Does it just tickle your fancy? Put on a cup of... My coffee's gone cold, actually. I don't think I want another coffee. Yeah, don't think I do. My books came. I'll do a video and I've got something to show if I show you my books. My awesome books. I love that blooming site. I buy all my books there because they're all cheap. They might be second hand, but they don't look it. They're not tatty at all. When they arrive, you would swear blind nobody'd look, except one I got today. And this woman, whoever had it before me, circled all around all the sizes of these sweaters that she knitted 2 things out of the book. I thought, oh, thanks a lot for that. For circling your size. It wasn't even my size either. She must have been small. Oh, it annoys me when people circle patterns, especially with a biro. Should have circled it with a pencil. I could have rubbed it out. I once complained I bought a pattern off Etsy. And when it came, it was all circled round. And I said, no, I don't want it. I said, I want my money back. I said, I don't want a pattern like that. I said, I expect it to be, pristine. I don't want it with circles all around the sizes. German Pilsner beer. Oh, Google Chrome. Janet, this is for you. Crochet granny square top. Cocoa boxy top crochet pattern. Lowrider drummer. Late summer sunsets blanket pattern. I don't want to know. Thank you. Thank you for telling me anyway. I might have been interested, but I'm not. I've not been eating crisps lately. I used to be a real crisp addict. But I can't remember when I last ate a bag of crisps. I think actually the last bag of crisps I had, I made a crisp butty because there was nothing, I hadn't got any cooked meat in. So I think I put crisps on a sandwich. I love a crisp butty. But I used to eat lots and lots of crisps. I used to have at least a bag a day. And I can't remember when I last ate a bag. I just went right off them. Yeah. Oh, you're getting in the mood for your beer festival. Drink, drink. That reminds me of the beer kellers. There used to be a beer keller in Manchester. It was supposed to be like authentic, and it was like cobbles. I nearly ripped my ankle on these like cobble things that were inside the. It was like a cellar. You went down into this beer keller, and they don't have them anymore, I don't think. But all the barmaids were walking around with these like Bavarian type outfits on. Now I nearly twisted my ankle on the blinking pebbles, cobbles, or whatever they were. God, whoever took that place over when it's closed down would have to refloor it or take all these pebbles up, cobbles. They were big things like that, big cobbles they were. And you're trying to walk to the bar, nearly cripple the ankle. The reason I remember that night at the beer keller was I had a brand new blouse on. I paid a lot for it. It was like sort of chiffony, beautiful thing it was, and somebody burnt a hole in it with a cigarette. Must have been going past me and flicked. Oof. When you don't smoke, things like that really annoy you. I went mad when my son was a baby. I had a beautiful pram set. The big, beautiful, I had a big pram, beautiful pram set cover thing, all lovely, broderie anglais and everything. Somebody flicked a cigarette out of a car, landed right in the middle of his pram, burnt the top of it. It could have been worse, it could have hit the baby. I was blooming fuming. People used to do that, what they still do, flick cigarettes out of car windows when they were still lit. Scruffy habit. You've got ashtrays in the car, use them, yeah. Oh. Beer keller, that reminds me, drink, 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 2 eyes that are bright and shine. Who was that? That was Mario Lanza, I think. Wasn't it showing me age? Showing me age now. Mario Lanza, yeah. And he used to do the drinking song. Oh my God, that's showing me age, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I can't do that. I don't have asthma, touch wood, but I have allergenic asthma, which means that 90% of the time I don't have it. And I have it less and less and less now because everywhere is smoke free. I used to suffer really badly when I used to go into pubs and clubs in my youth because it used to be smoky, just real smoky. And I used to really, really suffer. The only thing I react to now is strong perfume. I cannot deal with anybody with like poison and things like that on. I know my friend though. I was going down the seafront and I said to her, on our scooters, I said, what the heck are you wearing? And she said, Ghost. I said, well, can you wash it off when we get anywhere? Because it's knocking me sick. She said, oh, I said, I can't breathe. Yeah. It's not like the German ones. Oh, right. It's on for 3 days. Oh, what are you doing? Barmaiding? Oh, I'll be useless at that, me. You know, when they come up and they say, I want 3 of these, 2 of these, and 5 of these, I'll be like, whoa, let me get my pencil. You know, when the barmaids used to come round and take you, I'm going back a bit now, take your order sitting at the table, didn't they? And there used to be 7 or 8 of you on a table and rattling all these different drinks off, and they used to just go away and bring it back, and they were always right, yeah. I wouldn't be. I'd have had to have a little pen and pencil and write it all down now. Yeah, I follow a lady. I think she's lives in Maine or somewhere. She lives in a little cottage, these little tiny houses. She's got a little dog called Charlie, and I think she's called Boho Cottage. I sent the link to Chris because I thought he might like it, and she's very, very allergic to any kind of detergent smells and things. That's why she lives in the middle of no place in a little cottage, really, because she can't deal with a lot of the scents. Yeah, she's a lovely photographer, Chris. I don't know whether you realise that. She takes some beautiful pictures, you know, sunsets and trees and lakes, and she goes everywhere taking photos. She also earns her living taking photographs of clothing, you know, for a clothing company, you know, when they're wearing the new latest dresses and that. But she actually does a lot of photography for herself, you know. Oh, luckily, we don't have any Lush shops near here. The Body Shop isn't as bad as it used to be. When they used to have, oh gosh, I really miss them. And all years and years and years ago, Body Shop used to do about 95 different oils, perfume oils. Fantastic it was. You chose what you wanted, and you know they gave you little bottles and dropped it in. But now they're down to about 4 different oils they are now. Since that, what she called a Ruddock or something, sold it, it's gone too commercial now, and it's gone much more expensive, and also it's not half as good as it used to be. But when you used to go into a Body Shop, it was like, whoa, well, assault on you. It's bland, and the oils are weak and watery now, the oils. At one time, if you put a little dab of oil on your wrists and that, it lasted all day, and it used to go stronger as your body got warmer. Now it fades in 2 minutes, just fades away. Fuzzy Peach. Yeah, the Body Shop back in the 90s, when it first came out. Was she called Anita Ruddick or something, was she called? It's never been the same since she sold it, yeah. It used to be great. Everything used to be sourced, um, naturally sourced. I mean, now I don't know where it's, you know, I think that's all gone out the window now. But everything that she got was natural and naturally sourced and everything. Yeah, Anita Ruddick, yeah. And she had this ethic, didn't she, that everything had to be natural and stuff like that. And you could refill your bottles, little tiny bottles, but you could choose out of all these scents, and then you told them what you wanted, and they asked you what size of a bottle you wanted. And those little bottles used to last forever. That's probably why they stopped doing all these different scents. I still like the white musk, even though it's not the same as it used to be. And there used to be another one. There was vanilla I liked, and another one. Yeah, the white musk is still around, Linda, but it's not. It's watery, and it doesn't last half as long. I've got it. But when I actually moved, I found a bottle of Kofi wild musk. Don't do it anymore. A little bottle. And I thought, oh, it'll be off. Back of a drawer. Must have been there donkey's years. Opened it up. Still absolutely the same as it was. It was Kofi. And that was in a tiny little bottle. And that was wild musk. And that's, yeah, you can't get it anymore now. But I found this at the back of a, like I say, it must be 15 years old. But it's still, yeah, white musk is still around in Body Shop, but it's not as strong as it used to be. It's very weak and watery now. Yeah. When you used to put it on, it was like a definite oil. And, you know, it went on your skin, and it just went stronger and stronger as your body got warm. But now it's just like, you get it like that, the dropper thing, and it's just like water. It drips on you if you're not careful. Impulse. Oh, do you remember those? All those sprays, weren't they? I went in the shop on Infinity, and they do a lot of those. I don't know what they are, but oh, they were horrible. If they're supposed to be dupes, I don't know what they were duping. They're probably duping toilet freshener by the smell of them. They were vile. Yeah. I never know which dupe belongs to which, though. You know, there's shops, isn't there? There was one we went to Southport. Well, I was with Val. We went to Southport, and there was a shop there that sold all these different dupes. But I wouldn't have known which was which. You know, I get confused when people throw a lot of scents at me. I used to like going into Boots's in Manchester because, you know, if you go out for the day, you used to go into the perfume section and smell lovely all the rest of the day because you'd have a dabble of everything that was going, yeah. You used to get a few dirty looks off the assistant. She's like, you know, she's not going to buy anything. She's just come to have a dabble. But the worst of all was there used to be a Kendall Milnes in Manchester, and they used to attack you as you went through the door with these. And I used to say, oh, you know, I'm allergic. Just don't come near me. I mean, they don't do it now. They probably realise that a lot of people are allergic and they, you know, might get into trouble. But every time you went past anyway, and it was always horrible stuff that stunk, you know. And you'd walk through a haze of it, and it was clinging to your clothes for the rest of the blooming day. Oh, used to be grabbing you. I think they worked on commission, didn't they? Whatever they sold you. Oh, gosh, I'm cold. I am cold. My sleeves had rolled up, that's why. If my arms are cold, there is no doing anything with me. Tell you. I don't know why that bit there cannot get cold. I'm going to tuck my dress sleeves into my mittens so that gap isn't there. Sign of getting old, isn't it? When you feel the cold. My mum used to say, oh, it's cold, it's cold. I said, Mother, it's about 95 degrees in here. I envy people who are always hot. There's one girl at knit club, she's always opening the window. Oof, hot, oof, hot. I'm like, I'm cold over here, I've got my coat on. Stop opening the blooming window. Oh, that's better. I feel a bit warmer now. Right, she says, get her crocheting out. Stop shilly-shallying about. First of all, shall I get me toffees out the fridge before I get settled? Oh, shouldn't be eating toffees, but I'm in the mood for toffees. I think the ricin or something they're called, the chocolate toffees. I got them today at the shoppy. Oh, let me stand up. Oh my God. Every picture tells a story, doesn't it? Oh dear my godfathers. Oh. Oh. Don't get old, it's not fun. What have I got? I've got Terry's chocolate orange, I don't fancy them. Oh. Clinkety clink, clinkety clink. Clinkety clink. Ricin. Chocolate chewy toffee. It's actually dark chocolate, which I don't usually like, but I don't mind it because it's got toffee in the middle. Mm. Oh. Yeah, you pronounce it ricin. Ricin. Something like that. Snippety snip, snippety snip, snippety snip, snippety snip, snippety 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 snip. Hope it's not hard, otherwise. Oh, hi Dotty Dolly. Yep, toffees. I hope they're not too hard, otherwise I'll never get my teeth round them. It's dark chocolate, but like I say, I don't mind this because it's quite chewy. Oh, it's quite hard. Oh. Good evening, Jap. How are you? Have you tried your Vimto yet? Oh, my purples. I've got my shirt. I'm cold. And I refuse to put the heating on. I'm being tight. Have you tried your Vimto yet, Jap? Tell I've been to Wool Warehouse, can't you? Wicked. You ate diabolical Australian cookies. Well, why did you do that if you don't like them? I'm on to extending the sleeves down. Though I don't like tea, you know, I don't like tea. Oh, they're diabolically delicious. All right. I thought you meant they were awful. You've got the yarn, have you now? Yeah, see, I'm an influencer. In the worst possible way, I'm an influencer. You like Ribena? Yeah. I used to like Ribena until I found Vimto. Oh, my wool's gone in and out. Oh, I'm not having this. My wool's gone in and out. I know. We're sad, aren't we, getting excited over wool? I used to get really excited over ice yarn. When I used to do when I used to buy a lot of it and I used to do the videos, and everybody used to say I was an enabler because they used to have to go twice and buy it. So long before there was influencers, Janet was an enabler. Oh gosh, look at this. It's got a knot in it now. Don't you just hate it when your wool goes into a knot? All I did was bring it from the front room to here, and it's decided to knot itself up. I swear it does it on purpose. You're happily crocheting from a ball of wool and then it goes into a knot all on its own. I swear it thinks she's gone away now. Let's just tangle ourselves up while she's gone. Oh, look. And I don't want to cut it. Where's it going? I think this is past shaking. She's got to the stage where it's knotted. Oh, look at that. I don't want to have to cut it. I think it's going to have to. The trouble with this wool is it's very, very slightly fluffy. Or as some people say, a halo. No, it's not going to go past that knot. It's going to have to be cut. Oh, I hate cutting yarn when I don't have to. But I have to. Sarah Dow Jewels, but I'm not seeing that. Stop knotting up, wool. What happened to it? It was all right when I left it. And now I've come back to a great big mess. I'll have to cut that out. That is beyond the pale. I'm crafting. Oh, what's Jap crafting? I don't know. What are you crafting, Jap? Everybody's being nosy on here tonight. Yes. I started it off. I was being nosy. And I admit it. I am nosy. I'll hold my hand up. I am a nosy. You find out nothing if you're not nosy. People don't tell you things. You've got to ask. You've got to be nosy. They're very reticent to people on here to tell them what they're doing, you know. You were born nosy as well. Yeah, I was as well. My mother used to say, stop sticking your nose where you don't belong. You know, when grown-ups are talking and you're a little kid and you go away. She used to say, stop sticking your nose in where you don't belong. But they were always talking about more interesting things that, you know, especially when they lowered their voices. You know, like balls have ears, you know. Shoes have tongues. That was what my mother used to say. Oh, my mum used to stick me in a pram, yeah. You're knitting a poncho in hobby Halloween tea time. Oranges and greens. Oh, that sounds very bold. I was only thinking the other day, I used to make little ponchos, for children. Because I was thinking of little ideas, to donate. Like the church has a Christmas fair in November, yeah. Yeah, my mum used to say, walls have ears and shoes have tongues. If I was saying anything in front of my son, and he'd be listening, and she used to say, walls have ears, shoes have tongues. My mother used to say, she's got ears like Dumbo. She didn't mean that they were literally big. She meant I was always listening. Earwigging, she used to call it. She's earwigging again. Well, yeah, it's getting colder now. You've got no excuse. Got no excuse for doing it now. I do think it's lovely that more. I mean, men have always knitted and crocheted, but they always used to sort of have to do it kind of behind closed doors because they were sort of perceived as being it's a woman's craft. But I think it's lovely now that men are actually coming out and openly admitting that they're doing it. And I think, yeah, why not? I mean, it used to be a man's skill years ago, when men used to crochet the fishing nets and everything. And when my dad was in the army, there was a bloke used to sit on his bed, a soldier, and he used to knit baby shawls. And the other soldiers would buy them from him, so that they could send to their wives. Because obviously they couldn't go out and about and buy gifts for their babies to be. And he used to sit on his bunk and knit these beautiful shawls. I don't see why it should just be perceived as being a woman's craft. I don't see that at all. Chris got a day and night. What Christine you mean? Not our Chris. Your Christine, you mean? The doggy. Oh, it would take, if I was knitting a blanket, it would take me forever. I don't even attempt it. You probably gathered that blankets are not my thing. Christine Plymouth, yeah, that's what I mean, Christine, not our Chris, no. A lot of the best designers, fashion in Paris and that, they're guys, aren't they? I mean, there's nothing, I mean, if you think about it, like Christian Dior and people like that, they were all guys, weren't they? So I don't think my sewing should be a woman's job. I mean, the best, the tailors for men's, they're all men, aren't they? The Savile Row tailors and that, they're not women. Well, they might be women in the background doing a bit of buttonholing or something, but they're mostly men that do the tailoring, aren't they? Big boats with sails, yeah. There used to be a guy who used to come on Facebook. I mean, he was an elderly guy, so I don't know if he's still around. And he used to make beautiful, beautiful toys and all sorts of things out of wood. And they were gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. He started as a hobby when he retired, yeah. His wife shoved him down the bottom of the garden in the shed, get out from under my feet, yeah. He used to make some beautiful things. I'm not very crafty apart from a bit of crochet and knitting. I can sew a seam, but I'm not very crafty at making clothes. I used to make dresses, but we're going back in the days where they were like a shift dress. They were straight up and down with just a few darts. They weren't complex or anything like that. I used to make my own straight skirts. Again, they were nothing fancy. So I've never been what you might call a great sewer. I went to night school once upon a time when I was a kid, you know, long before I was ever married, to try to learn how to do it, yeah. Yeah, I think we should just admire people as a designer, as a knitter or a crocheter, regardless of what sex they are, yeah? Oh, I would love that. Not the wigs, but, you know, the theatrical costumes. I love watching, you know, the steampunk. I mean, I don't particularly want to be a steampunk person, but I love some of the clothes. You know, the fancy dresses and the corset type dresses, and, you know. I mean, I'm not a lover of opera, but I do like, you know, to see when you go to an opera and they're wearing the most fantastic big gowns, aren't they? I used to think I'd like to do that at one time, be a theatrical costumier, but then I couldn't sew very well, so I suppose you would have learned to do it, wouldn't you, if you'd have trained? I often used to think that I would love to be in amateur dramatics. I don't mean me being on the stage. I would have liked to have joined amateur dramatics just to be in the background, you know, to do, you know, the little jobs like, you know, the costumes and looking after things and stuff like that. I've never really wanted to be on the stage itself, yeah. Yeah, I love those hats in particular, you know, the ones with the goggles on top. Mm. I'd never wear one if I had one, you know, but I'd love one. I went to a craft fair one time and there was a lady there and she'd made a lot of like corsets. When I say corsets, I don't mean underwear corsets. I mean the corsets that you wear, you know, as a with a skirt, you know, that type of corset. And she wore hats and she had hats and that she'd made. Oh, so expensive, but lovely, honestly. Oh, I used to be on the stage when I was a kiddie. I think I mentioned it last week. I was a bit of a show off when I was a kiddie, but I couldn't do it now. I couldn't get up on stage now. There's no way you'll get me on a karaoke or anything like that. But I would love to be involved, like with the amateur dramatics, if I was fit. I'm not fit now, you know, to do the behind the scenes stuff. I used to have a really good group in Prestwich where I belonged to. It was called PADOS, Prestwich Amateur Dramatics and Operatic Society, I think it was called. And I used to always long to go and actually join it, you know. But I thought, oh, what if they want me to say anything? What if they want me to be a maid and trip on? No. I thought, no, I can't. I'd rather be behind the scenes, you know, brewing up. But I would have just liked to have been part of it, if you know what I mean. But now I could only do things sitting down, so that wouldn't be much good, would I? Yeah, I would only want to be behind the stage. I wouldn't want to be on it, yeah. I mean, now, when I came here, I thought about it, but the nearest one's miles away. And like it would be at night time, and I wouldn't be able to get there. So, not having a car. A lot of things are sort of limited to you when you don't drive anymore. A lot of places are reliant on you being able to get there. And I'm not on a bus route. And there's no way I'm trundling about on my scooter in the dark. Yeah. I used to go out to the knit club when I need a boho flying car. I used to go to the local, knit club when I lived in Fleetwood because it was just round the corner in the dark. So I knew my way back. But if it was raining, I could never find it because, the scooter doesn't have windscreen wipers, I know it's got a top on it and a front, but if it was raining hard, I couldn't see because if I put the sides down, it used to fog up. So you can't see anything anyway. And then there was no windscreen wiper. They need a windscreen wiper and they need a heater. It's not so much a heater to keep you warm, it's a demister I need, to stop the windscreen fogging up. I must admit I do like it because it's got the roof on because it stops you getting so wet. I used to hate getting wet through on my scooter. Before when I didn't have one with the top and sides on. But it's such a big beast, it gets in everybody's way. You see, if I was rich, I would have more than one scooter. I would have a fair weather scooter, which is smaller without the lid on. And then I would have the winter one with the... For the summer one, I would like one that looks like a motorbike. I don't know if you've seen them or not. Well, it looks like a tricycle, actually, not a motorbike. I would like one of those. But not as my only scooter, because I hate getting wet. I'm a wimp, I've decided. I never used to be. Didn't bother me at all. I used to take the dog a walk in the pouring rain, because he didn't mind. He'd go out in all weathers. I used to be there with my Easy Rider coat on that went down to the ground and my brolly. My wellies on, slipping and a sliding. But that was when I was fit and able, of course, yeah. Yeah, I've been procrastinating again, like I said on my video. I haven't done a thing today. I'd said I was going to hoover. I said I was going to mop. I didn't do anything. I said I was going to get my baby things out the garage. I didn't do anything. Come on. Your phone's going to go slow. My phone's knackered. My mouse for my computer's going to go slow. I just looked at them, and there's some of them are about £95 for a mouse. Because I have to have a rollerball mouse. I can't do the normal mouse thing because my hands. So I use a rollerball mouse. And the one I have now, they don't do it anymore. So I would have to change to a different one. And some of them are about £90. And I don't know whether I'll be able to use it because it's not like the one I've already got. I like the one I've got, but they don't have it anymore. It's called a Logitech. They still do Logitech, but it's not the same mouse as the one I've got. They have them now with a rollerball on the side, and I don't want that because of the thumb. Because I use my hand to roll the ball, not my thumb. Problems. But it stopped. You know how you sort of click and highlight something? It stopped doing that. Yeah, I looked on Amazon, which was probably the wrong place to look. Or maybe look on eBay. Because I'm just so used to this. It's just narrow, which fits my hand. Some of the other ones are wider, and I'm just a bit bothered. And I don't want to. I've got problems with this thumb with arthritis. So I don't want one with the rollerball on the side where I have to use my thumb. It's fun getting old and disabled, you know, it's really good fun. I want to try it one day. I can recommend it not. Oh, good, I'm glad we are. See, I am an enabler. I might not be an influencer, but I'm an enabler. I enable people in all the wrong ways. I enable people to spend their money on things they may not particularly want. I used to always get blamed for sending people over to ICE. I never got a discount from ICE, you know, I should have done. I used to send more people their way. You wonder what I'm doing? I'm going round and round a sleeve at the moment. I'm extending it down. Mine's on the back of my chair, as you can see. This is my niece's one. But I was looking at, oh, I've got so many little balls of wool. I've got to make another blanket. Not a blanket, another shawl. I'm never getting to the end of them. As soon as I think, oh, I'm going to hiccup again. Oh, hiccup. As soon as I think I'm getting to the end of all my little balls of wool, my friends at Knit Club keep giving me more. I'm like, oh, please. I'm going to be making these shawls until Christmas and beyond, probably. I'll have to get hold of Sue, Val, because you're out of commission. I was going to give the shawls to Val to give to Sue, but Val can't drive, obviously, because she's fractured her shoulder. So I'll have to get hold of Sue. I keep thinking, I'll wait while I've done another shawl. It's getting colder weather now. These poor old dears could do with these shawls. And I could do with a space. I've got 2 bin bags full of shawls and blankets now. Well, lap blankets, I should say. She's on here now, actually, but she can't really type that well because she's right-handed and it's her right shoulder, so she's in a lot of pain. No, I don't know where she tripped or she slipped, but she fell anyway, and she landed on her shoulder, and she's fractured the top of her shoulder. Well, you can crochet some shawls. Do you need the wool or do you have the wool, Dottie? Yeah, I'm crocheting them for an old people's home, but of course there could be more than one old people's home, couldn't there? I don't even know which one I'm crocheting for. It's Sue that knows which one I'm crocheting for. She's the one who's taking them for me. But let me know if you need wool. Hi, Denise. Hi, Amanda. Oh, it's nice to be missed, Denise, yes. We're talking about crocheting shawls for the old folks home. Yeah, I'm sure there will always be a home for them, Dotty Dolly. There's a lot of people in these homes that don't have any relatives, you know, to give them a gift or something. The only thing they would have to be is something that would be machine washable, because that's the way they deal with things, yeah. Sue, she's fine as far. I keep meaning to ring her. She's in Scotland now. That's the trouble, Jap. She lives in Scotland. So we converse by phone, but we don't see each other, sadly. I kept saying I was going to go up and see her, but now, of course, it's a bit out of the question because I don't have transport. So she lives a bit out of the way in Scotland. She lives up near a place called Wigtown. I think it's in Dumfries, I'm not sure. I've not been, yeah. Used to be a carer, yeah. There's always a home for shawls and things. Shawls and lap blankets. I'm not much good with lap blankets, as you know. But because blankets are a bit too big, you know, for anybody who's in an old folks home. They usually just want something that will go either around the shoulders or just over the knees when they're in a chair. They can't handle, you know, for the washing and stuff, they can't handle big blankets. So it's no point making anything too big for anybody who's in a home. They're just like things that they can put over a wheelchair or things that they can put, you know, around the shoulders, yeah. I know, I love this shawl. I absolutely love it. I sold the other one, which I wish I hadn't. I think I sold it anyway. I might still have it, I must look. The other one was in oranges and browns and stuff. And this one was, I sold another purple one, I sold another one. I sold a beigey one. I sold quite a few of them, actually. Most of them went to America, though. Which, as you know, you can't do. I follow a lady that lives in Ireland, and she's an authoress. And she lives in a place called Town Cottage. I don't know whether you know her or not. And she sent 2 books to America, and they both got returned because they hadn't paid the appropriate whatever duty or God knows what it is you've got to pay these days. So she's now saying that she can't send the books to America. I mean, most of my things, when I sold them, used to go to America. But now the postage is exorbitant. Now you've got all the import duties and taxes and God knows what else. It's just impossible. Yeah. I mean, I think Crochet Rocks has got around it somehow. I don't know how she's done it. And Stitched by Mrs. D has managed to sort something out, you know, for her bags. It's just making a hash out of everything. I mean, does it mean that people are not going to be able to send birthday gifts and things to people's relatives? Is it just on things that you buy and that's new, or, you know? They're talking about that here. About then they're only going to do second class posts on certain days, They're not going to do Saturday deliveries anymore and all this jazz. You know, they're putting the postage sky high, but we're getting a worse, a worse service. It's really bad. But it's all this, I mean, it's as bad here. That's why I can't order anything from Ice Yarns anymore, because it's all the postage stuff and what's he written about, Big Daddy? Is it fiction or what's he wrote about? It's not apparently Royal Mail, no, it's been sold off. I don't know who owns Royal Mail now, but it was ridiculous, the price of a stamp, even to send a letter. To be quicker to get a pigeon, send it by pigeon. A book of poems? You don't look like the type of person to write poems. He doesn't look poetic, let's just face it, does he really? Yeah, we'll be back to using carrier pigeons again, won't we, like they did in the war? Oh, I hate tea. I had to brew up for Linda when she came. Ugh. I'm nearly heaving. I should have sent Linda in the kitchen. Here, brew your own. I don't know why the smell of it makes me heave. I was brought up on tea, used to drink tea till I got pregnant. He doesn't look, how can I put it? The way he looks, I don't know him because I don't watch him particularly, but the way he looks, you don't imagine that he would be a poetic type of guy. He looks like the hunting, shooting, fishing kind of guy, doesn't he? More at home with a gun. I'm like that with liver. Oh, can't abide the smell of liver. Oh. It just doesn't. I mean, I know you shouldn't judge a book by a cover, but he just does not look like the kind of guy that would write a poem. I know it's good for you, and I know it's good for your iron and stuff like that. Oh, Yorkshire tea, yeah, I believe so. I don't drink tea, but I believe it's good. A lot of people swear by Yorkshire tea. I'm surprised you can't get it from Amazon. You might have to pay a fortune to get it, but you can get most things on Amazon. I use Amazon all the time. I mean, I pay $8.99 a month for Amazon Prime, but it's cheaper than the postage. Every time I want anything now, I just order it through Amazon. I pay more for it, but you know, when you're not clever, you just don't want to go all the way to the town just to get a packet of, you know, something, painkillers or something, you know. Like today, I wanted some Buscopan, and I thought, oh God, I thought I'll order it. Amazon will bring it tomorrow. Amazon van knows me well. I tell you what, that box I bought, it might have cost me nearly £100. That box at the door, it's brilliant. I don't have to worry about my parcels being on the doorstep, getting wet through, or you know, being stolen or anything. I've got them all trained now. They all put everything in the box. And it's good because when it goes in the box, you can't see it. If you open the lid, there's another shelf like inside. So if anybody opens the lid, they can't see whether there's a parcel inside or not. And they can't get the hand in to reach the parcel out. Jodie Miller. I don't think I'll be buying it though, Dottie. I'm not a lover of poetry. We had to do it at school, that was enough. We had to do John Donne of all people. Hail to thee, blithe spirit. Oh dear. I could never get the hang of it. Yeah. I prefer the older poems, you know, where things rhymed. I'm not into this poetry that's just, you know, it's just like prose to me on different lines. I'm not into that modern poetry. Who's Kayla? Oh, his wife. His wife, yeah. I don't know how on earth she manages to put on so much weight when she can't eat. You'd think she'd be as thin as a rail, wouldn't you? Oh, steroids, is that what it is? I know she went thin at one, well, a lot thinner at one time. And I thought, oh, that she looks a lot better, but now it's back on again. Man, I can put on weight for fun, and I'm not on steroids. And I don't eat a lot. I eat wrong because I'm eating these toffees now, and I shouldn't be eating them. But it's not a regular occurrence. It's not an everyday thing. That Saturday night is I do eat some toffees. I will hold my hand up. I do, but I don't tend to have them every day. Well, I don't have them every day. And I try to cut down on biscuits and things like that, and cake. But it's very difficult. I think when you're not mobile, it's difficult. You've got to eat a lot less than I do. Julie might not be on today because she's travelling back from. She's been at. Oh, gosh, is it her husband's sister or her sister? She's travelling back tonight, so she might not be on today. She sent me a message saying that they were travelling back overnight kind of thing, because her partner, I don't know if it's her partner or her husband, either one of the two. We'll call him a husband. He prefers to drive at night when there's less traffic. My ex-husband used to like driving back more at night. If we were going anywhere, we'd set off in the early hours, put Ian in the back seat asleep on his duvet. Because you could in those days. You didn't have seat belts for the kids in them days. He used to get on the back seat with his pillow. Yeah, it seems to be green, doesn't it, this sleeve? The bottom of it's all green. I keep thinking I might come to a different colour. This last lot I've got, this second lot, doesn't seem to have as much of the fuchsia colour in it as the one I did for myself. She won't mind though, she quite likes it. Yeah, the girl up the road that goes to knit club with me, she's already used that box, that, post and go or whatever. So I said to her, right, when I need to use it, I need you to come down and give me a lesson. I'm a bit stupid with things like that, scan and go things. Once somebody shows me, I'll be right. I can't work these things out on my own anymore. I'm a bit thick. Modern technology passes me by. It's looking that way. It's going to be green, isn't it? I keep waiting for a bit more colour coming through. It's going to have it'll be green sleeves. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I mean, I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, I've got so many thousand. Oh, I've got so many thousand. Not one of them people, but it would be nice to have a few more. I've been 7.6 thousand for about 4 years, I think. Very loyal. My subscribers are very loyal. They don't leave me, but I don't get any more. Oh, dear. I would love just a few more. How can I put it? It's not the be all and the end all of my existence. I know I will never be one of the big butts, but it doesn't particularly worry me. I'm not going to, fret. Let's just say. I would fret if they left me. Then I would be a little bit unhappy. But it's not my aim in life, let's just say, to grow my channel. I'm happy as I am. Happy, happy, happy. It all depends on what you want to do. If you want it to be your main source of income, then, fine, fair enough. But I'm just not bothered about that, yeah. Was it big Tesco? Oh, thank you. I should get a little board and stick it on the back of my scooter. If you want to watch some of this crazy woman, follow me on YouTube. I can't even get the people at Knit Club to watch me, except for Val. Val watches me, but nobody else does. Yeah, my idea when I moved to the seaside was I was going to sit on my scooter on the seafront and crochet. Well, all these holiday makers would walk past. Huh, I picked the wrong town to come and live in, didn't I? You never left. Thank you, Amanda. You never left me. No, my subscribers are great. They don't leave me, I must admit. They don't leave me, but it just would be nice to get a few more. I'd be dead happy if I got to 8K. I'm at 7.6 and I've been there for 4 years, I think. My aim in life is to get to 8K. It would be nice to be an overnight sensation after 13 years. It's like when they say, you know, actors or something like that. It's an overnight sensation and you find the poor beggar's been doing at it for years and years and years. Oh, I don't watch her. Why are you telling me she's got another video? I keep getting notifications of people I don't follow. And yet people I do follow, yeah. Leslie's got a video up. I will watch her, but it was too, when she put it up, I thought I haven't got an hour and a half to watch her. And I didn't want to watch it in bits. I wanted to watch her all the way through, yeah. If you don't watch her, she's great. Not quite enough yarn, Leslie, she's called. She's battling cancer at the moment, but she's very, very cheerful. She's got a beautiful, positive attitude. She's so funny. You're trying to finish your scarf so you can move on to something else. I'm a bit of a monogamous crocheter or knitter, really. I tend to work on one thing, you know. I mean, I was watching Denise the other day. She wants to cast on 40 because she's just turned 40. She wants 40 casts on for 40, and I'm like, oh, I couldn't cope. I just could not literally cope. I think the most I ever have is 2 or 3 things on the go at once. I just couldn't cope. Some people like to work. I mean, even Sheila gets me dizzy. She's got about 6 or 8 things on the go at once. She does a sleeve on this and a sleeve on. I'd get mixed up. I'd be doing the wrong pattern on the wrong bit, or doing the wrong size on the wrong thing. You know, oh, I couldn't keep track. I just maybe that's just the way my brain works. Yeah. Somebody cast on 50. Yeah, Denise is trying to cast on 40 for 40. And I'm like, oh. Some people do. I just couldn't cope. My brain would be overloaded. If I put something down, that is it. I can't use the thing, but that's only because they're not on an inline hook. I only can use an inline. Can you imagine me? 80 next month, not next month, November, doing 80 cast-ons. I'd be 100 before I finished any of them. I used to be a bit more, because I used to have crocheting at work. Crocheting and knitting at work and crocheting and knitting at home. So I'd usually have at least 4 things on the go. But now I'm at home all the time. I really can't cope. My brain doesn't work that way. I would just get absolutely muddled up with what row I was on, what size I was doing. You know, I couldn't. It's the way your brain works, isn't it? Like I said, Sheila skips about, doesn't she, from one thing to another thing to... I'd get muddled up with what size I was making and what colour I was using, and I'd have to have a notebook with everything written in. I mean, I believe they're all right, the zings. But as I say, they're not inline hook, and that's the only hooks I can use. Inline. If you don't know what inline is, if you look it up, there's a difference in the top. The top goes up, right up. Whoops, where we gone? It goes right up inside, whereas I call the others blobs. I mean, I believe they're nice hooks if you can use them. I know that I couldn't. I think Val uses them. I think Val's got some. Am I wrong, Val? Have you got zing crochet hooks? I thought she'd bought some. Because one of our ladies that goes, the knit club I can't go to anymore, not because I don't want to, it's just in the night time and I can't go. She does the shows, like at these yarn shows. And she had a contract, to get these zing needles and zing hooks. And I thought that Val had bought some. But I might be wrong. If she's listening, she might come back and tell me. Yeah, you've got the zing hooks, don't you? They're not inline though, are they, Val? They're just the ordinary ends. But I don't think you use inline hooks, do you? Yarnivorous. Or yarnivorous, whatever it is. I know that I couldn't use them because they've got what I call them a blob. They're like, the ends are like Susan Boy's boy hooks, yeah. I can't use the boy hooks. It's just what you get used to, isn't it? I mean, a lot of people don't like these inline. I've got to do 30. It's all green. It's never coming to an end, this green. Right, I've got to do 13 rows. If you're using boy and clover, you probably will like the zing, because I think the zing's got the same end. I'm not wild about furls, they're too heavy for me. The handles are heavy. I've only got one, mind you. Too expensive for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got 2 more rows to do. If I ever get past any green, it'll be a completely green sleeve. Green sleeves. No, but if you ask Nathan if he's listening, Nathan will tell you the names of the witches. Because I've never watched the movie. What is that, crochet hook? I don't know, I think it's Enid, but I'm not sure. One never knows with Enid. I didn't want to call her Enid in case it wasn't her. Oh, it is you, right, okay. I didn't want to call you that in case it wasn't you. She just likes to confuse us. Oh, this is definitely a green sleeve, isn't it? Look at it. It's not coming to an end either. And I've only got 2 more rows to do on this sleeve. It's just going to be green. You're dreaming about yarn. What was I dreaming about last night? I remember them when I wake up. I dream every single night. And when I wake up, I'm still in the dream. Sometimes it's not a nice thing to be in the dream when you wake up. It'll take 6 for this hexie. It's not a particularly big one, though. I don't like big, floppy, baggy ones. It's going to use about 6. It depends how big you want your hexie to be. If you want a huge one, then it'll take more. I like mine more fitted. I've gone off baggy things. Oh, it's all twisted up. Oh, I'm on to black now. I've come off the green. I think I'm on black. Crochet tools disorder. I used to be forever buying crochet hooks and then just deciding I didn't like them. I've gave Kelly I don't know how many crochet hooks because I don't like them. I've decided just to stick with the Susan Bates now because that's the ones I like. I used to have that yarn acquisition disorder. I've curbed myself. Although I did buy all that wool, I've still got to use up, I bought from Wool Warehouse. Actually, that might be what I'll start next, although I've got to do is get rid of those. Yeah. I always think that it's wrong that they're always packaged up. You go into a physical shop, that they should have one hook of each kind and a ball of wool for you to try out, not package everything up. They should let you have a practice to find out which hook suits you, because obviously people like different hooks for different reasons. And, how are you going to find out which one suits you? If you can't try them first. And they're not cheap. Some of these hooks are really expensive. I mean, the furls, for example, are terribly expensive. I've not used an Addy hook. Has anybody used an Addy hook? I've not tried them. You've got Addy Tunisian. I've got the Denise Tunisian hooks, but I can't work with them. They're little short hooks with a long, you screw a long tail thing. But the hook's too short for me to use. I need the longer hook. I actually had the very long Tunisian hooks and I got rid of them all because I thought, oh, you're not going to do. Yeah, I don't like the Denise because the plastic hooks for a kick-off. And the short hooks, they're only a short hook, aren't they? I can't cope with it. It just keeps twisting round on me. I like a thumb plate. And I know you can't have a thumb plate with Tunisian, but they just roll round and round if they don't have a thumb plate with me. Yeah, I need the longer hook. I need a long... If they're a short hook, some of the hooks are really short, aren't they? Is it those with like a mustard flat handle? I don't know about that because we don't have them in England, so I don't know. Maybe somebody who's American. Tulip, is it? My tulip's got a pink. I got a tulip one given to me by Doris Chan. And that's pink. I think it's Etimo, is it? Tulip Etimo. Yeah, some hooks are really short and I can't cope with them. I need a longer handle, like these are long handles. My friend ordered some hooks from, I think it was Temu, and she said they looked as though they got plastic handles and they looked great. And well, this is Doris Chan I'm wearing now. And she thought she got a bargain. And then when they arrived, they were all the same size. She got like 10 hooks, I think, or something for a really ridiculously cheap price. But they were all the same size. So she just said if anybody wants a hook with a plastic handle, she's got 10 of them, size 2 point something. Yeah, I gave my clover ones. I think I gave them to Kelly, I think. It's now gone into black. There's going to be no pinky colour, whatever you call it, on this sleeve at all. Yeah, they're too short for me, those clover. I can't use the end, the blob. I hate this neuropathy. I always think there's something crawling up my feet. Yeah, there's some that are flat, aren't they? I can't use those. And then there's some that are plastic. They're like navy blue handle with like white lattice work on them. I can't use them because they've got plastic. They're plastic hooks. The reason I like these hooks is because they're metal. No matter how big you get them, they're metal. You know, if you get a 10mm, they're still metal. I can't crochet with the plastic ones because they squeak. I think that's why I don't like those Denise hooks, because they're all plastic. They're squeaky. I've bought some long hooks. Oh, it's finally turning to be purple. It's just right when I'm on the end. Yeah, I've got some long Tunisian hooks. I've not got round to trying it again. I tried doing it with the, the Denise ones. Yeah, no, if you like inline hooks, Susan Bates are all metal. Even if you get up to 10mm, 12mm, they're all metal. I mean, I used to crochet all the time with Aero, and I used to manage all right, and they've got the sort of blob end, yeah. No, I've not heard of dot hooks, no. It's like everything else. They try to do them cheap, don't they? They put the prices up. I mean, the price of crochet hooks is through the roof. I mean, at one time, you could get them for about £1 each. When I used to sell them, you know, the aero ones I used to sell, they were less than £1, you know. Everything's gone sky high. I mean, like some of the knitting needles now, £5 a pair. You're like, what? It's not a cheap craft anymore. I've kept all my vintage ones. I don't use them, but I've kept them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I've just gone on to purple as I've got to the end of it. Now I've got to do the decreasing for the cuff. I can't hold the little hooks anymore, you know, with my hands. I just can't grip them. I think this is why I like these, because they've got the bigger wooden hook. No matter how small the hook is, they've still got the bigger wooden handle. I can't hold the ordinary ones that are so thin. It's great getting old. This hook's is Susan Bates. It's an inline hook, which a lot of people don't like. So when people say to me, which hook do you recommend? I never recommend anything, because it's like you say, like Marmite, you either love it or you hate it. Some people hate the inline hooks. They say they get stuck, but I just like them. Yeah, a lot of them turn out to be bent or something. My keyboards, the keys, the things are wearing off, some of them. So I have to guess it's a T. I could do with getting some of that white Tipex to paint it on. The T's worn off altogether. And now one of the I think it's the E is wearing off as well. I need to get some white Tipex to Tipex them in. It's an American keyboard, this, because there's no pound on it. I have to do Alt 0163 to get a pound sign. My son bought it me for Christmas. He said it was an English keyboard. I said, well, it's not. It's an American one. I'll buy another keyboard soon. When it will, all the little things wear off. All the letters. You can't do anything about it because they're black keys, so you can't write on it with another colour. Maybe I did nail polish or something. If I put a nail polish, I've got a white nail polish. Maybe if I put a T and an E in white nail polish, it might last a bit longer. I bought a set of nail polish and it's got white in it, which I'll never use on my nails. That's an idea. I'll do white nail polish and try and paint a T on it, just in case I forget. I used to touch type, but that's gone out the window these days. I can't do it these days. Because I used to do a lot of typing when I worked at the bank. And even when I worked at the job centre, I used to do a lot of typing. But now I don't, so. Oh, keyboard stickers, yeah. I watched that lady, what's she called? Little Dollhouse or something. She does all that vintagey stuff, and she's just bought a really nice keyboard. And it lights up, and it looks a bit more like a typewriter. But it was quite expensive, so I won't be having one of them. The things you would get if you had the money. The things that you don't need, but things that you would like if you have the money. It must be nice to just think, oh, I'll have one of those and not bother, have I got enough money, or, will that... I mean, I would never like to be rich, but it would be nice to just be able to say, oh yeah, I'll go and get a new keyboard. Oh, I'd like one of those keyboards that look like a typewriter. I think she said she paid about £90 for it or something. I thought, no, won't be having one of those. A screen keyboard, oh gosh. That sounds way too complicated for me. I'm bad enough on my phone. I type anything on my phone. It's like gobbledygook. 3 and then decrease. I do 3 rows doing 3 and then decrease. It's not to make a really small cuff, it's just to bring it in a bit. I think it's 3 rows I've done. It's got a purple cuff. I finally got rid of the green. It's just that I don't like a really baggy sleeve. Says she, wearing this one that's got a huge sleeve. If I'd have done a smaller sleeve, I might have had enough wool to do it longer, but I'm not pulling it undone. It's Doris Chan, but it's very open work. It's very bed jackety. I'm not a lover of big baggy crochet. Things on big hooks and that. Yeah, well, she's got a purple cuff. The rest of the sleeve is green, but she's got a purple cuff. I don't know what colour the other cuff is. No, you see the other sleeve is greens and purples. This sleeve's all green. She won't notice. Or if she does, she won't bother. I've got to do all around the bottom. It's funny, but this second lot has got a lot more green in it than the first lot. And also it seems to be going farther. I seem to have more wool left over than I had with me on. And I'm doing exactly the same size. It's funny that, isn't it? But it's exactly the same wool. Making sure I don't do one sleeve tighter than the other. No, it's definitely got to go in a bit more. Yeah, a lady at Knit Club said, "Oh, isn't it lovely? It's gorgeous that. Oh, I do love it." I said, "Would you still love it if I tell you how much I paid for the wool?" And she went, "How much is it?" I said, "It's $3.99 a ball. And it's took 6 balls." And she went, "Oh." I swear some people think it costs about £1 a ball or something. I think she went off the whole idea. I think she was going to ask me to make her one. But when I told her how much the wool had cost, I think she went off it. Oh, yeah. They sort of think it's all like market price, which is like £1 on a ball. But if they want plain, then that's what it is. But if they want something fancy like this, then you've got to pay the extra. You know, if she wanted a plain coloured one, just all in one colour, then I could probably do it for sort of, what, £8 or £9. But if she wants something fancy like this, then, you know, sorry, but that's how much it is. I mean, that other wool I got, the one I've got loads of that I bought, I got as a bargain. £1.99 a ball that was, but it's now £4.30, I think. It's gone back to £4.30 a ball. So 6 balls of that would be even more. Yeah, I think I might do that next. Val's in the middle of crocheting herself a sweater, aren't you, Val? And of course now she's had to stop because she can't crochet it. Looks like my sweater will be finished before yours, Val. Oh, you shouldn't mock the afflicted, should you? Don't mock. Back to Frankie Howard again. Don't mock the afflicted. Stop mocking. He had that kind of a face, didn't he? He used to look sort of hound dog and sad. It was permanently sad looking face. Oh, titter ye not, he used to say. Titter ye not. The Tonya Harding of crochet. Who's Tonya Harding? Am I missing something here? Make sure my cuffs are the same. Well, they're the same size, except that one's pink and one's green. Never mind. Now to do the bottom. Right, I've done the hexagons, I've done the sleeves, and now I have to put the extra length along the bottom. Leaving enough yarn to go all the way around the edge afterwards. Oh, it's telling me I'm going to go to sleep here. Auto sleep, we don't want to do that. There we go. It does that on me. I can be watching, listening to something like Agatha Christie while I'm doing my crocheting. And I've got my head down doing my crochet, and all of a sudden it goes off. And I wouldn't mind it going off if when it comes back on again, I can find what I was listening to before. And it goes off and comes on at something completely different. Then I have to go through, trying to find out. And usually I can't remember the title of the story that I was listening to. Really irritates me that. Why it has to go to sleep, my phone, my TV, and my computer. On your YouTube, why it has to go to sleep. I don't want it to go to sleep. Because if I've got my head down, I don't see that it says your computer will go to sleep in 53 seconds or something. And if you press, but when you've got your head down crocheting, you don't see that bit. I've listened to more halves and 3/4 of stories before I nod off. Well, you won't be finishing it for a bit, will you, Val? I'll finish mine before you. I go to the library every Monday. There is nothing to stop me joining the library, and yet I don't. Don't ask me why I don't. I buy my books usually from, well, I buy some from the church knit group I go to. They have a bookcase. You pay 50p. But the gain from me, because I also buy books secondhand from Awesome Books for a couple of pounds each. And then I take them and put them in their library. So I take back more than I borrow, if you know what I mean. I don't keep them once I've read them. Well, not the cheap books. Obviously, the dearer books or the series of books I keep. I've got a pile of Hamish Macbeth books. Oh, in the library that Sue, in the garage that Sue wants. I've been keeping them for Sue. I haven't seen her. And obviously they're way too much for me to pack them up and send them. A lot of people join that magazine thing, you know, where you pay so much and you can see all these magazines for free. I think that Ali, you know, that little drops are wonderful. Ooh, stop yawning, Janet. She belongs to it. But I never join these things, yeah. I'd never read them online anyway. Yeah, I could join the library. I go every Monday. Well, nearly every Monday, except when it's bank holidays. Well, I never think to join the library. Ooh, stop yawning, Janet. Stop it. Oh, I go chilly when I yawn. I'm not particularly tired, Dotty Dolly. I yawn when I'm cold. I'm looking forward to putting my heat pads in my bed. I haven't got an electric blanket. I don't know why I don't like the under electric blankets. I don't like them. They scare me. I've got a heated throw, but obviously I don't put that on the bed. Yeah, well, I just had some painkillers before, didn't I? They probably just kick it in. Yeah, I took my painkillers before I came on. Well, as I came on, I put them on. I love this colour. Like a fuchsia colour, isn't it? Oh, roasted. I don't like nuts. Ugh. I'm not allergic to them. I just don't like them. Having said that, I will eat the monkey nuts because they're not roasted and they're not salted. I've got a huge bag of small balls that I'm going to have to make another shawl with. I'll never get I'll never get past doing these shawls, will I? Hopefully I'll do the next one right. I told you I forgot to increase on the last one. So it's finished up as a cape. It's a cape rather than a shawl. Eau de cream for it's peppermint eau de cream. It's in a long tube with a hook on the end of it. Or there's eau de cream that I use for my face, which is in a pot. I'd have to. Now you see, it works for me, but yet my friend, she put it on and it doesn't do anything. And yet when I put it on, I can feel like a kind of a heat, comes onto my bits that have got a sore, like my knee and that. But when she puts it on, she said it doesn't do anything. So I was laughing at her. I said, "You must be thick-skinned." No, it's you have to get the peppermint though. It's called udder cream and it's peppermint. It's what they use on cows. I know it sounds daft, but it's what they use on cows. But they sell it now for. It draws the blood flow to that area. But as I say, it doesn't work for my friend. So, I'm hesitant to say, oh, yeah, it works for everybody because she said it doesn't do a thing. But the peppermint is really strong. It blows your mind, the peppermint. I don't know what brand it is. Let's see if I can find it on here. Oh, stop it. Why have you put, can you not spell peppermint? Peppermint. Peppermint udder cream. Which one did I buy? Oh, that one. That's the one that I bought, but any of them will do. Any of them will do. That one is Telsen Deeply Soothing Udder Mint Cream with 35%, is it Japanese peppermint? Strong cooling liniment menthol rub with natural ingredients for joint and muscle. And it's 20, that one was £23.75. But it lasts, it's a massive tube, it lasts forever. It's, what have I got to go? 600 millilitres. But there are others, I don't know whether there's any cheaper. No, they all seem to be around about the £20. Oh, you can get a smaller one. That's £8.99. That's if you don't want a huge one. That's Moo Mint. Because it's meant for cows. Moo Mint. If you just type in peppermint udder cream on your browser. But they mostly seem to be about, oh, there's one there, £14. Depends how much is in the tube. But if you wanted to start off with, you could get a small tube, couldn't you? It's about £9.99. And that's the one I use for my face, which is Udderly Smooth Udder Cream, Body Cream and Skin Moisturiser. And that's brilliant. That's £11.49, but it's a massive, massive tub. And I've had it for about 12 months and I've only used about half of it. And I use it every day, sometimes twice a day. Never mind all these fancy creams that these film stars advertise, saying they're wrinkle for your wrinkles, get rid of your wrinkles. Nothing gets rid of your wrinkles. I mean, I'm as wrinkly as anybody at my age group, but I did get told by a masseuse that my skin was a really nice consistency, let's just say. Yeah, just try a smaller tube just in case it doesn't work for you. I mean, like I say, I'm very hesitant about saying to people, oh, you must get it, because my friend just doesn't, so it did nothing for her. She couldn't even feel it. I said, you must have very thick skin, because the minute I put it on, I could feel it glowing, on me. Teeth and udder milk cream, yeah. But I mean, it's so strong, the peppermint, it stings your eyes when you're using it. I mean, I said to her at Knit Club on Wednesday, I said, if you can smell the strong smell of peppermint, it's me. But I mean, my hips were so painful. I was just grateful for any help whatsoever. And I don't know whether they were on their way to being improved on their own, or whether it was because I put this udder mint cream on them that it helped. But I'm all for trying anything, I tell you. I've been trying that gel stuff, the ibuprofen gel stuff, and it hadn't done anything. That's what I'd been. Oh, that's what I've been using, the ibuprofen gel, and it wasn't doing anything at all. Admittedly, that doesn't smell, so if you're going out in a crowd, you don't want to smell a peppermint. But the other udder cream that I use on my face, I mean, blooming heck, £11, and it's a bloody great tub, and it's lasted me nearly 12 months. You go in these supermarket and these fancy dancy things that they advertise on the telly. They're about £20 for a little tub, aren't they? And you're thinking, they don't get rid of your wrinkles any more than anything else does. I'm sorry, but if you've got wrinkles, you've got wrinkles. Unless you undergo a facelift or something like that, there's nothing going to shift them. No, it can't. It can't improve, can it? If you've got a face like a, as my mother used to say, a slap behind. No amount of cream will help that. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, some of them make your face feel soft and moisturised, but they're a heck of a price, aren't they? Some of them. 20 quid for a little tiny pot. I mean, there was somebody, some famous person or other, saying they always used such a thing, and it was seaweed and something or other. And I looked it up, and it was about 60 something pound for a little pot. And I thought, no, thank you. I think as long as you moisturise with anything, I think it helps, yeah. But if you're going to wrinkle, I think you're going to wrinkle anyway. I think it's genetic, a lot of it. Mind you, my mum had beautiful skin. She had less wrinkles than I do. Yeah, I wouldn't mind one of those non-surgical invasive, like where they zap your skin with electrodes to tighten it up a bit. I wouldn't mind one of them, but they're so expensive, aren't they? That just zap your skin so it tightens. But a lot of this is since I lost weight. I had big puffy cheeks, and when you lose weight, you get like saggy skin. There's nothing you can do. It's just a fact of life, isn't it? So I wasn't as sort of saggy skin, this jowly bit. That's since I lost a lot of weight. It's just something that happens. These girls with these fillers and bits and bobs in their faces, what they're going to look like when they get my age, when everything's sagged and collapsed and yeah, they have fake cheekbones, don't they? Why did I get overweight? It was when I had my operation and I couldn't move. And I just got into the habit of not walking and not doing anything. And I probably ate as much as I'd done when I was active, and the weight just piled on me. I put on about 4 or 5 stone after my spinal operation. I think that's where it started. And then when I lost it, then all right, Val, I hope you're feeling better very soon. I know how you feel with the painkiller. I had a rough week at the beginning of the week, yeah. It's great, isn't it? Well, if you will do, dancing on ice or whatever it was you were doing, I take it you're not on come dancing or whatever they call it these days. You won't be doing that this week. Oh, an endoscopy. Oh my God, yeah. I don't know which is worse, endoscopy or colonoscopy. The colonoscopy is the most undignified, isn't it? Having to show that part of your anatomy to a stranger. It's not exactly. I know it's all medical and they probably see a million of them, but it's still not nice. At least the endoscopy, they're only looking down your throat, aren't they? What a job to want to do. To do that all day long, looking at people's bottoms. Oh no. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to do colonoscopies. I want to be a rectal surgeon. No. Yeah. They were very good with me with my endoscopy because I've got problems with my throat because I had it all lasered, because of precancerous cells. So it doesn't move. So they had to use a little tube that they use on premature babies to get it down me at all because I could not swallow the normal endoscopy tube. Every time they came near me, I was gagging. I was like, So they were really, really good with me. I told them my problems and I said I cannot swallow it. They've tried and they had to fail. They had to knock me out in the end. The last time I had one done, anyway. They were absolutely brilliant with me. He said, well, do it slowly, and he taught me through it, and it was just great. He was really good. Yet the first one I had done, oh, Lord, that was terrible. Doodly-doo-doo-doo. Well, next time, tell him you want the narrow tube. They can do it. I never gagged at all with the second one I had done. They used the tube for the babies on me. Because I'm sweet and little babyish. The other tube they use is like a hose pipe. I said, that won't go down. No way will that go down. They wanted me to go back for a colonoscopy. I said, no, God, no. I said, did you find anything? They said, well, nothing that was too we needed to really bother about, but we'd like you to come back just to make sure. I thought, no. I said, do I have to? I said, I'll come back in a bit. It's not so much the camera, the colonoscopy, it's that stuff they make you drink beforehand, to make you go to the loo all through the night. Oh, I never got a wink of sleep. Every time I got back in bed, it was like, no, get up again. You think you're passing stuff that you ate 3 years ago. You never want that again. Ugh. Yeah, they want me to go back for another one. Oh, no. It's the most undignified thing I've ever done, I think. Getting old is fun, isn't it? All the things they subject your body to. I think they experiment on us. You know, when you sat there swallowing your 13 pills during the day and all the rest you have to eat all the rest of the time. And you're like, oh my God. It was never like this. I didn't sign up for this. Now my shoulder's starting to hurt because it does when I crochet a lot. It hurts worse when I knit though, funnily enough. Yeah, this one's going far more than mine did. I'm still on my 5th ball. No, I've got quite a bit to do. I'm on the bit where you go downwards now. I mean, some people just do the hexes in 2 pieces, but they finish up so wide on the sleeves if you do that. Finish up like a kimono. The first ones I did them like that, and they were huge. Massive, great sleeves. I thought, oh God, this is wrong. So now I've devised my own way. So it turns out more of a cardigan than a great big over cardigan. Over jacket, I should say. I want to make another one like I made that white one, but I want to make it with black next time. I only go so far with the hexie, then I elongate the sleeve and elongate the body. Because if you carry on going and carry on going, you finish up with a massive, massive. I stop like there. I stop there when the sleeve's that wide, and then I crochet down the rest of the length of the sleeve. And now I'm crocheting down the rest of the body, because obviously it's too short, isn't it? But I mean, if you like them with big baggy sleeves, carry on going, you know. It's just what you want, isn't it? It's just, it's not my thing, having big wide sleeves. So mine's a hexie with a difference. I think I saw somebody do it on YouTube. Somebody saying, oh, well, they didn't want the big wide sleeves. So I stopped doing mine, and it looks almost like a child's size when I stopped doing mine. And then I start crocheting in different directions. So it's a hexie with a difference. Yeah, the first one I made, I just carried on going and carried on going, and I had 2 hexies. And then, of course, you get the straight bit at the front. You don't get the shape bit. Yeah, my first one was enormous. Big floaty sleeves you could have, you know, jumped up and down in. And I just didn't like it. I think I sold it in the end. I only wore it once and sold it, I think. I want to make another Granny Takes a Trip, because the one I've got is too big for me now. And with it being all granny squares, you know, I can't make it smaller. So I think I need to make a smaller one. Granny Takes a Trip, it's all granny squares. It's a big long cardigan. And on the pattern, it's got really big wide sleeves, but I didn't do them. It's on Ravelry. If you Google Granny Takes a Trip, it'll show you. It's just a granny square coat, but it's like down to your knees, yeah. I did mine in black with bright colours in the middle. I've done about 4 of them now. But I've only got one myself, but mine's is too big. It's dropping off my shoulders, it's too big everywhere. Don't forget I made it when I was 4 stones heavier. And I don't like big floppy things. So I need to make another one. Yeah, the first one I made it for a friend. And it was all different shades of purples. It was gorgeous. I should have kept that one. It depends. I think everybody's got a different style. I mean, the way Sheila crochets, she knits it like that. It depends how you hold your hook. I suppose I move my hook around. Yeah, I think everybody does. But I crochet like over, you know, like a point downwards when I'm crocheting. Whereas some people like crochet upwards, you know. I kind of crochet down. It's the way you do it. What other clothes do I want to make? I don't really know, really. I'd love to have made a crocheted skirt, but as I only wear long skirts, it would have to be a full length one, and it would probably droop. It would probably get longer and longer and longer as I moved. I mean, I used to wear crochet mini dresses when I was younger, had the figure and had the legs. Funnily enough, I've got no photographs of me wearing any of my crocheted mini dresses, and I used to make lots of them. We never had a camera much when I was younger. I've got no photographic evidence of my hot pants, crocheted hot pants. I mean, I was only, what, teenager then, yeah. Yeah, it depends which way you sort of do it. I mean, I crochet like going down like that. But I do waggle the crochet hook around, yeah. But I don't wrap the wool physically around my hook. I go into it and hook it through. I mean, some people like go in and then they have to go like that with their wool. I mean, to me, that's sort of slow. I just hook it. I don't know if you can see. I just hook my wool through. Because people say, don't you crochet fast? But that's the way I do. I taught myself to crochet. But then my auntie said to me, she used to crochet doilies and things like that. She said, you'll never crochet while you're shoveling it. And I went shoveling it, and I was doing it like knitting, like that all the time, using my hand to put the wool round. She says, you'll never crochet while you're doing it that way. And it took me ages to learn to do it this way. But like people say, oh God, don't you go fast? But that's just the way I do it. I think you all have your own way. I never say to anybody you're doing it wrong. I might say you're doing it differently. When I watch some people crochet, I think you're so slow. The way you crochet, it's so slow. What on earth is that? Sounded like somebody dragging a bin. Yeah, but you don't physically put your wool round your hook like you do with knitting, do you? I mean, I'm a thrower when I'm knitting. I throw the wool around. I don't knit continental or anything like that. I knit English style, I think they call it. I have dyslexic fingers. They don't type what I'm thinking. They type anything. My worst is using the mouse. Yeah, I always say that. You know, you develop your own style, don't you? I mean, I look at some people crochet and I think, they're so slow doing it. But if that's the way they want to do it, that's the way they want to do it. Not the way I do it, but that's just not to say I'm not the best person in the world. I don't say you have to do it my way or else. Mine's just evolved. I was never taught by anybody. I was self-taught, so it kind of just evolved. My aunt did tell me I had to crochet like downwards instead of upwards, so I suppose she did have an influence over me that way, but she didn't teach me to crochet. I learned to crochet when I was 13. I had tonsillitis and I was in bed. I used to suffer really badly with tonsillitis. It used to floor me. I was literally in bed. And my mum got fed up with me, so she said, stop banging on the floor for a drink. She said, because my bedroom was like above the shop, so I kept banging on the floor with my foot if I wanted to. So she got fed up with me. So she came up with a learn to crochet book, because there was no YouTube back in my day. A hook and some wool. Yeah, I never learned to knit continental, you see, so I think it's just the way you learn. I've tried to knit continental. I can actually do the knit stitch, but I can't do the purl. I can't continental the purl. You know, the way you go through and hook it, I can't do it that way. But it's the way you will learn. I mean, I was taught to knit when I was, about 5. So that's the way I was taught to do it. I knit the way my mum did, with my needle under my arm, yeah. That's why I can't use circular needles, because I can't knit with my arms waggling about. I don't hold the right hand needle at all. I just knit with the left, yeah. I mean, now it's all circular needles and I'm just lost because I can't use them. Well, I can, but I'm so slow. It's like in, over, through, off, in, over, through, off. It drives me mad because it's so slow. I like to clack, 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 clack along the row. Yeah, I couldn't pick up the continental way of purling. They sort of hook it through, don't they? Hook it through. Seems very complicated to me. But if that's the way they learn, then I suppose it comes natural to them. I've tried the continental way of knitting, but it doesn't come natural to me. You know, when you learn from being 5 and then suddenly when you're like in your 50s and 60s and somebody said, you know, you should try continental knitting, you just can't, because it's ingrained in your muscle memory or whatever. It's ingrained in the way. So I couldn't change the way I knit now if I tried. It's just alien. And yet if somebody's learnt to knit continental, that's the way they knit. And that's the way that it's natural for them to knit. I never even heard of continental knitting until I was in my 30s or 40s. I never even knew there was such a way. Portuguese knitting, I don't know what that is. No, I just knit. That's all I can tell you. I knit my way. It gets me from A to B. And that's all that matters in it, really. It's not a test. You don't have to sit an exam. You don't get marks out of whatever it is for the way you knit, do you? You might get marks out of 10 for the what you finished, whether it's lovely or not. You know, you might get a blue ribbon at the county fair. We don't have things like that over here, but I know you do in America. You get ribbons for things that you've knitted and stuff. You know, I think getting from A to B with a good tension, coming out the right size, that's the most important thing, isn't it, really? You know, if knitting the English way makes it uncomfortable for you, then don't do it. It's like me. I don't do continental because it's not comfortable. Yeah, I mean, people have said, like with me having arthritis, I shouldn't knit the continental way, it's this and that. But it's hard to unlearn something. It's not like a bad habit that you can get out of, is it? It's not like quitting smoking or something. It's just, yeah, I mean, sometimes when my arms and my shoulders are aching, I think it would be easier if I could, you know, learn how to do it the continental way. But I'm, what they say, too old to teach an old dog a new trick, yeah. I suppose you have to adapt. I mean, when I had one of my shops, I had a little old lady used to come in and she had MS. And she could only knit with like a clamp, you know, on a desk or a table or something. And she used to come in and she got to the stage where it was difficult to talk. And her husband said she used to like coming in to see me because I was one of the only shops that had a lot of patience with her. And I used to not finish a sentence for her. I used to let her finish and tell me what she wanted to tell me, you know. And, you know, I used to help her with her knitting, even though her knitting was very bad tension and that. But She was doing her best. I mean, the poor woman. I mean, sadly, she died not long after she'd been coming in. But her husband used to say she absolutely loves coming in to see you. You know, because you just sit there and you talk to her and, you know, you treat her like she's normal, you know, which a lot of people didn't. Because she had a trouble getting her words out, you know, people had no patience. Yeah. But she was a lovely lady. But these illnesses attack, they're not a respecter of people, are they? I can't remember if it was multiple sclerosis or motor neurone. But I know it had attacked her vocal cords, whatever it was. It's bad when it does that. Yeah, a lot of diseases are terrible, aren't they? But we have to thank our lucky stars we don't have them. Oh, it's awful, isn't it, when things happen? I mean, we all have a moan. I moan and grumble because, you know, sometimes I'm in terrible, terrible pain with my back and my legs and my hips and that. But you think, oh, stop it. You know, there's people out there 10 times worse than you. That's why I try not to go on about it, you know. Yeah, you know, it's just, yeah. I mean, I think, oh, God, you, Janet, you could have something 10 times worse than what you've got, you know. Yeah, I love Doris Chan. I'm wearing a Doris Chan actually today. This is a Doris Chan, top down. She's difficult to understand, I think, but once you get away of it, yeah. Yeah, it's difficult. You don't know how you would feel if you don't have it. You don't know how you would react. You know, you think, oh, I would do this or that or the other, but unless we're actually in it, you don't know how you would. I mean, some days I'm like, ah, why me, why me? And then you think, stop it, just stop it. You know, don't whinge. My friends have got used to me going, one of my friends said to me, why do you, and I said, well, what do you want me to do? Do that or yell? I said, you've got two choices. And she goes, no, I'll put up with you going, when I'm on my own, I'll yell. When I get out of bed in the morning, it's like a, you know, full-blown concerto, you know. Because there's nobody here to listen, so I can make as much noise as I want. But when I'm in company, I do limit. Limit the noises that I make when I'm out and about. You find that people just don't want to know, you know? They don't. Sounds cruel, it sounds awful, but they just don't want to know because they don't know what it feels like. If they don't suffer from it, they don't know. So, you know, you say your back hurts, I say, oh yeah, mine hurts as well. And you're like, there's a big difference. But I don't correct them. I go, oh yeah, sorry to hear that. So I just don't mention it most of the time. Just toggle my little way through life. Grin and bear it, as they say. The only time it really pees me off, it's not so much the pain, it's not being able to do things. My brain thinks I can go and do them, and then I can't, and then I get annoyed. I get annoyed with myself. I get annoyed because I've got this. Because my brain still thinks I can go and paint the kitchen or go and stand on a stepladder and do this, that, and the other. And then when I try to do it and I break my neck, you know, I haven't got the brain of an 80-year-old person, you know. I'm not quite 80 yet, but you know what I mean. I haven't got that brain. I've got the brain that thinks I can, you know, just go and I'll get up the ladder and I'll change the curtains, you know. And then you get on the first rung and you think, no, perhaps not. Perhaps not a good idea, you know. But my brain's, I lie in bed in the morning and I'm plotting my day in front of me. I'm going to do this today and I'm going to do that today. I'm still not mopped the kitchen floor. How long's that been? I still haven't hoovered. I still haven't been in the garage and got my baby things. And yet I've been busy all day, but I can't tell you what I've done. You know, it's just, I've still got the brain of a 25-year-old. I haven't even got the brain of a 40-year-old. And yet other people that I know have got an 80-year-old brain when they're 60. You know, and I'm like, I'm the opposite. I've got the other way around. I don't think I've got the limitations, and I don't want to have the limitations, and I get annoyed with myself because I have. And it's an awful feeling. That's the bit you don't like about. They don't tell you this about getting old. You know, they don't tell you all the things you can't do anymore. It's blooming annoying. You know, when I was younger, I used to look at the colours and I used to think, I'm going to paint that tomorrow. I'll get some paint. And that's what I used to do. I used to go and get the paint and paint the wall and not think anything more about it. And now you're thinking, oh, I can only paint so far because I can't go up the top bit. I haven't painted the radiator in here yet. Still haven't painted it. How many weeks is it the kitchen got painted? I've got to get down to paint the radiator and I've got to go behind the desk to paint the radiator. And it's just all too much, you know. So I think, do you really want to paint that radiator? Does it not? Does it really matter? It does really, but I've still got the paint. I've still got the ready in the garage. Oh, yeah, maybe. But I'm not very good with a roller. I tend to splatter everything and everybody with a roller. It's like a spray when I'm doing rolling. You know, it's in my hair, up my trouser legs, on the floor. I'm much better with a brush. I know where it's going with a brush. Because I don't use a big brush, I'll use a small brush, even though it takes me ages. I can get it in the right place with a brush. With a roller, everybody gets a bit. I'd have to cover the floor with plastic and... Oh, yeah. I tried using a roller when I was doing the tiles, but I couldn't. Even a little roller, it was everywhere. Painted the worktop, I painted the wall, I painted everything with, oh. I gave it up and got a brush in the end. I did much, much better with a brush. I still got to paint my Dolly's house, but that's a job, well, for winter, because now I'm not doing the garden. The garden's just gone to pot now. I won't do anything about it now until spring. So that's one less thing I've got to do. So I might actually get around to actually doing the Dolly's house. It's the painting bit, because one of the windows is crooked and I've got to paint the windows because they've all gone yellowed. It was a very old doll's house I bought. A doer-upper. But at least it's in the warm now. It's in the spare bedroom stroke craft room. Well, I've already got the paint. But it's not the painting of the doll's house that's bothering me. It's wallpapering and putting the flooring down because it needs wallpapering all inside. I could just paint it, but I just really want to wallpaper it. And Dolly's house wallpaper is terribly expensive. Whereas one roll of ordinary wallpaper, if I could get something with teeny weeny little print, would do the whole house, yeah. Oh, that'd be like watching paint dry, literally, Denise. Oh, dear. I wouldn't be able to show you decorating because I'd have to get indoors. Oh, I'm just dreading it. I really am dreading it. I need somebody there geeing me on, somebody there helping me cut the wallpaper out and stick it on the walls. Live stream? No, I can't live stream. I can only live stream in here. And I can't do my doll's house in here. I can't live stream with my camera because it cuts out after 28 minutes. So it would be the very shortest, it wouldn't be a live stream, it would be videoed and then put on. That's why I don't use my camera anymore, because it cuts out after 28 minutes. I wish somebody was here to help me with this blooming doll's house. It was a bright idea. And when you think about it, 4 years ago when I bought the doll's house, I was a heck of a lot fitter. So it was a bright idea. I've got all my furniture. My furniture's all packed up in a box. I've got all the furniture. And I've got the net for the curtains, and I've got the curtain material for the curtains. It's just the actual decor I've got to do. It needs wallpapering and carpeting. Yeah, queer eye. Oh, yeah. I never had an oven when I was a kid. I never had anything like that. Or the ones you cook with a candle, didn't you, or something? They never really cooked anything. I never had one because, like I say, we didn't have a lot of money when I was a kid, so I never got anything like that. I think there was one at school that somebody had donated, but it didn't really work. It was just a pretend one. It didn't cook anything really. We had to pretend. I think somebody donated one to the nursery school I went to. I never had anything like a kitchen or anything like that. Most of the things I had like that were hand-me-downs from my cousins, and seeing as most of my cousins were boys, I didn't get things like girly kitchens and dolls. Yeah. I never knew bikes didn't have a crossbar until I was 13, when my dad decided to buy me a new one. And then I found out there were girls' bikes. And I didn't want one because I wasn't used to a girl's bike. I wanted a bike with a crossbar. I didn't want a pink witch with a lipstick holder. Well, you got, no, I never had. I could say I never knew we were poor until we weren't. Once we started having a bit of money when I was about 13, then you realise later, looking back, that you were poor. But I never knew I was poor when I was young. You know, I always had things to eat. I always had clothes of a sort. Fashion wasn't a thing when I was young. You know, there was no such thing as kids in fashion. You put on what your mother put at the end of the bed. That's what you put on. There was no, I don't want to wear that, or, you know, none of that, like the kids today. Not wearing that. Put it on. You know, you didn't get a choice, did you, when I was a kid? No, it was the same with me. Everybody was in the same boat. All my friends were in the same boat. Nobody had loads of toys. Nobody had loads of everything that they bragged about, you know. It was a different, I think it was a different era back then. It wasn't important like it is now. You know, fashion wasn't important when I was growing up. It wasn't until I was a late teenager that I started reading, you know, like fashion magazines and things, and realising, you know, what people who had money wore, you know. But as I say, well, all your friends are in the same boat, aren't they? And when I was at school, it was all school uniform. So, yeah, I never skated on a pair of skates because I always had one skate on and my friend had the other skate on, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you just shared. It was a different thing. Kids today are a lot more selfish, I think, than we were. We just shared. It was, you didn't get told you had to share. You just did. It was automatic. If somebody had a football, then you all shared the football. Somebody had a skipping rope, you took turns. You know, there was none of this, oh, this is mine, you're not having it, and all that. You know, kids today, I think, are more they think they're entitled. They have to have an iPad, they have to have this, they have to have that. And it must be awful for people who are not in a financial situation that they can afford all these things. You know, it must be terrible. I mean, I was never under that kind of pressure. Nobody bothered if I didn't have a ball. Nobody bothered if I didn't have a doll, you know. It was like, oh, well, I've got one, we'll share, you know. Oh, I was always in bother for taking my mother's washing line. We used to go skipping, you know, like a load of us with big long skipping rope. It'd be my mother's washing line. She'd go mad because we cut it down. Used her washing line. In the end, she gave up and bought another washing line. and donated us, because we dirtied it, obviously. We dirtied it on the ground. She couldn't use it to peg the sheets out because it was dirty from the, where we used to play. It was dirt. It wasn't paved or anything. So her washing line got dragged in the dirt. So she couldn't use it for the washing anymore. We had fun, though. We used to dance around the maypole. We used to pinch her brush, and put all the strings on her brush. We couldn't afford the ribbons, so we used to have crepe paper and cut it into strips. Kids today have too much. They don't use their imaginations at all, do they? The boys used to play cowboys and Indians. They didn't have guns. They used to have a piece of wood. I used to be able to skip until, of course, I had my spinal up, and then I don't want to do it now because it might joggle the pins, There was a lot of things he told me I couldn't do after my spinal operation, but one of them was bungee jumping. And don't jump out of a parachute, out of a plane with a parachute. So I didn't really have that on my bucket list anyway. No trampolining, not to trampoline. But bungee jumping was one of the ones he said. I said, I had no plans to bungee jump. He said, well, I have to tell you that you can't do it. He said, because it would just jar the pins in your back. Same with trampolining. I really didn't have any plans to do any of them anyway. I think diving off a high board was another one. I said, well, I don't dive anyway. Even off the side of the swimming baths, I don't dive. I might jump in, but I don't dive. Somebody did try to teach me when I was much, much younger, but I don't like the sensation of going into the water with my head first. It's too much of a trauma. Yeah, they crushed my dreams. I couldn't bungee jump anymore. And I couldn't jump out of a plane. Terrified of heights anyway, so there's no way I would bungee jump. I don't when I used to go in a plane, I can't sit next to the window. People fight, don't they? They want the window seat. I fight for the aisle seat. Far away from the window as I can get. When I used to go away with friends and they said, do you want to sit? No, I don't want to sit here. You sit there. I'm fine. I'm either in the middle or the end. Yeah, one of my dreams when I was a kid was I wanted to be an air hostess. Little did I know I don't like flying. I do it to get from A to B, but something keeps making a noise outside. Almost like a gate banging but nobody's got a gate that's loose. Whatever. I'm sure there's an explanation for what it is that's banging. The guy that lives at the back of me, when he shuts his garage door, God, I nearly jump out my skin. He's got a metal door and he must clang it down. And he'd jump out my skin every time he does it. Oh, it's past the witching hour and here I am still crocheting. I'll finish my row before I go. Well, I've got my thumbs up. So if you're not subscribed, can you subscribe, please? Because it don't cost nothing. And I'm not doing an OnlyFans or whatever it's called. Not one of them, no. It's a members only. I keep saying OnlyFans, but that's when they take the clothes off, isn't it? It's not one of them. Not doing one of them. No, I'm not doing a members only. Somebody asked me that, and I said, no, I'm not doing it. I'd get about 5 people that would want to watch me. And that would mean that the rest of the people couldn't see me. So, no, I'm not doing that. If I had 1 million subscribers, it might be worth my while. But apart from that, no. I might even have an audience of 1, like a private video for 1 person. No, not bother. If they want to talk to me, they'll have to message me. I'll talk to them on Messenger. The trouble with people talking to me on Messenger is they tend to be in America. And my messages go diddly-dee about 3 in the morning. I'm like, oh God, please, no, I'm asleep. Leave me alone. I used to like that. What was it used to be called? It wasn't WhatsApp, it was before that. It was on YouTube, not YouTube. On Yahoo, I think, or something, was it? It was free anyway, and people used to send you a message and you could like FaceTime them. I used to have quite a few friends I used to talk to in America that way. I can't remember what it was called. They stopped it anyway, they stopped doing it. Like everything else, if it was free, it got stopped, didn't it? No, it wasn't Skype. I don't think it was Skype. It was before Skype, pre-Skype. No, it wasn't MySpace. No, I can't think what it was called. You had to be invited to go on it, but it was free. So, and people used to kind of ring you. They used to ring like a bell to see whether you were available. Somebody would ring you. But it used to ring through the computer. But you had to be a group of friends, if you know what I mean. No Tom, Dick or Harry could just ring you out of no place. And nobody could come on unless they were invited, yeah. No, I don't know. It was something to do with, I'm sure it was something to do with Yahoo. I used to go on one with Denise, actually, and everybody else. But like I say, you couldn't join it unless you were invited. But once you were in a little group of people, anybody there used to be able to ring you to see whether you were available to talk. Or they would send you a message saying, are you around or what? Yeah, it was all done by video cameras. And it was all free. You didn't have to pay to join. But then they stopped it, of course, because everything free got stopped, didn't it? It does sound a bit like Skype, but I'm sure it wasn't called Skype. I mean, the one that I used to do with Denise, somebody had to open the room. I think she still does it, doesn't she, now? She still does it with a few of her friends now. But you have to pay. Somebody has to open the room. And then you have to be invited in. It's a bit like WhatsApp, not WhatsApp, but you know. She still does it, whatever she does now, she still does it with her nitty friends. Yeah, well, there was Yahoo Chat and Yahoo Messenger, yeah. I used to be on Yahoo Messenger, yeah. And then there was the chat rooms. But I stopped using the chat rooms because they got very salubrious. You know, men going in there asking me very rude questions. And yeah, I stopped. When it first started, it was great. It was very innocuous. It was people just talking to each other in a nice way, like we are on here. And then the perverty men started coming in, you know, and changing it all to be something nasty. So they closed it down, Yahoo. But I don't know what Denise uses now, because I used to go on and chat with Denise. No, I don't know what it was called. I can't remember. I've got a brain like a fog. What does Denise go on now? She doesn't Skype, does she? She goes on. Oh. She's always talking about it on her videos, saying she's on there talking to her friends. Zoom. Zoom. That's what she's on now, Denise. Zoom. Yeah, well, I used to Zoom with Denise. That was what it was called, Zoom. Then they changed it now that you've got to pay. Somebody's got to be. I think you get it free for about 30 minutes or something. Somebody has to open the room. But now I think you've got to pay if you want it more than 30 minutes. She Zooms with all her nitty friends, doesn't she? I did join her a few times, but they were kind of... I crochet, so I was like the odd one out. And they did a lot of knitting, and they did a lot of the, you know, the Stephen West shawls and stuff. So I kind of felt a bit out of my depth, you know. They all knew each other and they were all into the hand dyeing and stuff, and I just felt odd. But when I used to Zoom at first with Denise, I mean, there used to be me and Kelly, who else was on there? Sonia, who now does all the dyeing, Sonia Jones. Zoe used to come on, 24 Karat Crochet. There used to be about 6 or 8 of us used to go on a Wednesdays. But then it all fizzled out. But I like that rather than, you know, the big Zooms where there's about 24 people and they all want to talk at once. Too much. Because people have said that to me, why don't you Zoom? And I'm like, no. I'll go on somebody else's Zoom, but I'm not paying and opening a Zoom. I couldn't deal with all the people, you know. If like more than about 6 people wanted to join me, I'd be, no, too many people, go away. And then there'd be the ones who wouldn't want the camera on, you know. I don't want to talk on the camera, so there'd be all these blank things, you know. You wouldn't know who was who because there'd be no faces. I think if you're going to do Zoom, you have to be prepared to be on the camera, you know, which a lot of people aren't. Yeah. Oh, I've got a knot. Luckily, it might be at the end of the... Look at that. You wouldn't mind if they knotted it in the same colour, would you? But they've knotted it from green to black. It's an odd. I hate that when it's multicoloured wool and there's not a colour in that's not in the colour sequence. Oh, and it won't go to the end of the row. I'm going to have to break it and knot it. Oh, how annoying. How annoying is that? I've never had that in any other boho that I've had before. Not had that at all. Right, I'm going to go when I finish this row because it's nearly half past the witching hour. So it's been a long live. So anybody who's watching me afterwards, like some people do, are going to have to watch me for a long time. Unless they skip over, which they might do, I don't know. Well, that's odd. After it's gone from green to black now, that's very odd. Never mind, my niece won't notice, but it annoys me. Paula's not made a video for a bit, has she? She must be busy doing something. She normally does some bags, doesn't she? Not seen her do any bags. Well, she put some on, I think, or has she gone back to Etsy? I know she put them on Kofi, didn't she? I've just not seen her on Instagram or anywhere. Ooh. Can't pull it through to the wrong side. Come on, come through. There you go. Right, people, I'm going to go. Now. I'm getting fed up now. My shoulder's hurting. That's where I'm up to. I'm on the way down to the bottom now. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows around the bottom. I think I've got to do about 12, I think. I've done the sleeves now. All I've got to do is all the edgings. Yep, all the edgings. Maybe I'll finish it this week. Hopefully I will. All right. Oh, my shawl. I love it. I love this shawl. I don't know why I don't wear it more. It's got ratty-tatty pom-poms, hasn't it? But never mind. I don't know what happened to that wool. It's gone a bit... Maybe I washed it, I don't know. Right, thank you all for your company, your thumbs up, your whatnots, and your subscriptions and everything. And I will see you all. Well, I've got 4 books, actually, that's come from Awesome Books, so you might see me in the week. Depends on how I feel. Oh, I've got chocolate around my mouth. Scruffy me. Bye now. See you all later. Oh, I've lost me arrow. Oh, there you are. Bye now. Bye. It won't end. Bye.